Hola, hola, bienvenidos a Esperanza Vence, donde la Esperanza Vence. Welcome to Esperanza Vence, where hope wins. Ooh-wee, that rose quartz is lit up right now. Shout out to my buddy Mary from the farm who gave me that beautiful rose quartz at my very first festival doing tarot readings. We were in booths next to each other. She was vending her beautiful wares as the Grateful Gardener. You should look her up on Facebook. She has really awesome body products and salsas, and oh, she makes the best smoked pepper salsa. It's so hot and it's so good, and I hope she makes more of it this year. I was over there last year when she was putting her peppers in the smoker, and I bet you that batch was just delicious. Now I already shuffled the chakra cards deck here. That my sister gave me. And shout out to Molly. Love you, girl. And the card that came out was the solar plexus affirmation, which is I give myself permission to be my authentic self. So, solar plexus, what is that? That's the sun. That's our gut. That's doing. That's our ego. That's how we exert ourselves in the world. There's a lot of talk about manifestation and visualization and your thoughts create reality and stuff like that, which, there's nothing wrong with keeping a positive mindset, but chances are, even if you have a negative mindset and you get to work and you work hard, you'll make things happen. There's a song that I really like, the Billie Holiday version of this song. Them that's got shall have, them that's not shall lose. Some are by themselves and they still get the news. Mama may have, Papa may have, but God bless the child that's got his own. Got his own. You get the idea. So we're at this full moon in Virgo today. Actually already happened, but I wasn't really feeling, I've been feeling the energy for the past 3-4 days, but I just wasn't ready to pull the cards yet, The full moon in Virgo happened right around 2:33 in the morning Central Standard Time here in the United States, where I live in Wisconsin. You can adjust the time to your time zone, but anytime that we have a full moon, especially, the energies are felt for a good 3 days before, a good 3 days after, especially the day before and the day after the full moon. So we're right in the thick of this energy. What does Virgo represent? Well, Virgo is a mutable sign. It's ruled by the planet Mercury. What does Mercury have to do with it? It has to do with communications, details, words, thoughts, ideas, any type of process that requires planning. I'm thinking about drawing, like an architectural drawing, any type of fast-moving energy. It has to deal with our close relations, our sisters, our cousins, our neighbors, anything that's nearby you in your direct vicinity, texts, emails. Mercury, just basically, it's an air sign. But Mercury is mutable. It's not a sign, it's a planet. But Virgo is an earth sign, ruled by Mercury. So mutable earth, what does that mean? That means we're grounded and we're stable, but we're also willing to change as we get new information. As new information comes in, we're able to sort of revise the plans and be flexible. Virgo is very concerned with how they can give service to the greater community. Virgo is a very selfless energy. It's the energy of a virgin, actually, and in astrological connotation, that would be a virgin who has given of herself, not necessarily like the Virgin Mary who gives birth, regardless. It's more of like, ooh, what's popped out here? Oh, the World card. Well, that's lovely. Now, these are the fixed signs of the zodiac, and they also represent the 4 archangels that protect us in our reality. Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, and Uriel, represented by Aquarius, Sagittarius, Leo, and Taurus. Now, we're talking about the mutable signs, but the World card is a card of completions. It's a card of reaching the pinnacle of a journey. It's a card of a full moon, really, because a full moon is a culmination of energies that we've been working on either since the last full moon or the last new moon in Virgo. What were you doing, end of August last year? What were you thinking about? What'd you start? What's coming to fruition now? We're about to have an Aries new moon, which is the start of spring, and it's also going to be right around the equinox, so that's some pretty powerful energy. And today, I think it was 2 hours after this new moon occurred, Saturn ingressed from the zodiac sign of Aquarius to the sign of Pisces. There's a lot of Pisces energy going on right now, which is why I'm really glad that this Virgo full moon is coming in to oppose and sort of illuminate another side of the spectrum. Because as we talked about at the new moon, Pisces energy deals a lot with dreams, imagination, sort of disintegrating into the greater all that is, and being attuned with the ethers, not necessarily getting to the brass tacks of the 3D reality, whereas Virgo is concerned with what can we do here to make this earth right here better. I'm not imagining towards, what's gonna happen spiritually in the future, or how I'm gonna connect with my higher self. I'm concerned with actionable steps that I can take to create a better reality, a cleaner reality. Virgo has a lot to do with organization, attention to details, making sure that your house is in order before you go start, pointing your finger and messing, at your neighbor's house and telling them how they need to do things. Virgo is very much a zodiac sign that's attuned with the energy of taking care of one's own health and taking care of one's own house, metaphorically, physically, or otherwise, before going out in the greater world and then telling other people how to do things. So we're pulling in the energy of this Virgo full moon, which is much needed because there is a lot of energy in Pisces right now. Mercury's in Pisces. Actually, Mercury's ooh, what's this? 5 of Wands. That's a card of creative conflict. That's a card of play fighting. Oh my gosh, all my cards are falling on the floor now. That's a card of play fighting. That's a card of a bunch of projects or a bunch of ideas conflicting with one another. Well, I guess the cards are shuffled now, since they all spilled off my lap and onto the floor. So I'm not going to take any more jumpers. I'm just going to grab these ones that are here. And hopefully I didn't miss any. But if it's missing, I guess it's supposed to be missing. I think I got them all. But we're pulling in this energy of the full moon in Virgo, which is much needed right now because Mercury is in Pisces, the sun is in Pisces. So our ego, our solar plexus, if you will, the sun, is concerned with connecting to higher realms. But as anybody who's ever meditated knows for sure, you got to ground your body before you can let your spirit fly, right? I used to do this form of archery. It's called Kyudo. And my sensei, who's now on the other side, and he does speak to me in my dreams, especially during this Pisces energy, but something that he really pointed out to me while I was studying Kyudo was that he told my direct teacher that I needed to meditate more. I needed to ground myself more. That I was doing a good job cleaning my heart, but I needed to meditate more. I was good at walking meditation. I was good at standing meditation, which was the archery. He said I'd done it in a past life, so I guess I already kind of like had some idea. My spirit had some idea of what it was doing, but here in the 3D reality is sometimes where I have the most issues. So, oh, Wheel of Fortune. Gosh, we've been pulling some really crazy jumpers. The World, Wheel of Fortune. This is a card of good luck. I guess since the cards are jumping, it's time to play. So as we pull in these energies of the Virgo full moon, let's keep in mind that we give ourselves permission to be our authentic selves. Today we're going to play with the Morgan-greer Tarot, which is my favorite deck. Put our little rose quartz. Actually, I'm going to keep the rose quartz with me. I'm just literally dropping everything on the floor. And that's okay. The way the light is, I'm not exactly sure how to focus, but it's okay. The message will still come through. Tarot, tried and true. What's it say? How do it do? Help me say what I can see. Tarot, talk to me. Virgo full moon. This is us. This is what's crossing us. This is in the near past. This is in the near future. This is in our conscious awareness. This is in our subconscious awareness. It's how we see ourselves in this situation. I wonder if that's not too bright. Everything's just falling. This is how others see us in this situation. These are our hopes and fears. And this is the likely outcome. It's okay. We'll deal with the light. Me and the 3 other people watching this will deal with the light the way it is. Goddess bless. Okay, let's play. Let's see what the cards have to say to us about this Virgo full moon. This is us. The Wheel of Fortune. This is what's crossing us. Page of Swords. Near past. 7 of Cups. Near future. Knight of Wands. Knight of Rods, if you will. Conscious awareness. Page of Wands reversed. Page of Rods. Subconscious awareness. 2 of Swords reversed. How we see ourselves in the situation. 6 of Pentacles reversed. How others see us in the situation. 8 of Swords. Our hopes and fears. The Lovers reversed. And the likely outcome. Temperance. Who are we in this situation? Those of us that are tuning into this full moon in Virgo, what's the main energy of this story for us personally? Wheel of Fortune. So basically, the tarot is trying to tell us that we're lucky sons of bitches. Honestly, though, the Wheel of Fortune is really good luck, especially in this card. You know, you can see that the main characters are on the top of the wheel. Now, the Wheel of Fortune, as I've mentioned, and I don't know if you've seen, but I have a playlist down on my main YouTube page, and there should be a playlist right on the home page that shows Learn Tarot. And I talked about the Wheel of Fortune card, and that's mainly just talking about the never-ending cycles of life. You know, sometimes you're on top of the wheel, and sometimes you're getting thrown right off the wheel, you know, depending on where you are in your life. But Wheel of Fortune just means like a sudden shift in luck. And when it's upright, it means that we should be expecting some really good surprises as far as like good luck is concerned. Now, that could be as simple as, you know, going to the Piggly Wiggly and you get the best parking spot. Or maybe you go to buy your PBR at the corner store, and then you decide to get a scratcher and you win 25 bucks. You know, the Wheel of Fortune doesn't have to be something huge, like a huge windfall, but it can just be that, like, within the next couple of days or surrounding this full moon, you know, those of us that are tuning into this video can expect a little change in luck for the better, I would say. Also, if anybody wants a personal reading with me, you can find that at esperanzavence.com. And I was just talking to a friend of mine today, and we're booking a lot of shows this spring and summer as far as festivals, and I'm doing a Renaissance fair. So if you're in the southeastern Wisconsin area, you can always contact me via my website or on my YouTube page. Under the About, there's a contact tab that you can click on, and you know, a lot of people just contact me through there to book their events. I charge a minimum of 2 hours for a party or an event, but I also do readings pretty much every month at some of the local esoteric metaphysical bookshops and crystal shops and stuff like that too. So if you live in the area, sort of in the southeast Wisconsin area, you do want to reach out and share some of this good fortune energy with me, well, you know, I would be happy to read for you personally. What's crossing us? Page of Swords. So this is a youth that is really concerned with the truth. A youth concerned with the truth. But this is somebody who comes in, cuts through the bullshit. They are just getting a handle of their ability to communicate in a way that it's not self-sacrificing, it's not people-pleasing, it's just telling the truth, and they're getting a handle of their own truth and how to communicate that truth with a greater audience. So as an obstacle, we might be just starting out on this journey of good luck, but it might be difficult for us to communicate our truth in a healthy way. We might still have a juvenile way of communicating our truth. Pettiness comes to mind, actually. I would like to think that I'm a mature individual. I'm sure old enough to know better, but if I'm being honest with you and myself, I'll tell you sometimes I'm just freaking petty, you know? And so as an obstacle, you know, seeing the truth or seeing the truth through others, or maybe there's actually a youthful air sign, which could be an Aquarius, a Gemini, or a Libra, that's actually a person that's presenting an obstacle to us. Or I really usually read pages and kings and queens as people, but this time I'm reading it as an energy, you know, since we're the Wheel of Fortune, and that's a major arcana, it's very lucky. So something that could be an obstacle to our luck could be knowing and speaking our own truth in a mature fashion. In the near past, we have the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups is a card of emotional choices. Cups always represent emotions, whereas the swords always represent thoughts and communication. And in the Seven of Cups, you can see that each cup has its own blessing or disaster, depending on how you see it. You know, you could have riches, it could be a masquerade, it could be a dragon. Now, dragons can be good luck or bad luck, depending on how you see it. A snake, you know, a castle. So, Seven of Cups is a card that represents having to make a choice. So, within the past couple lunation cycles, we've had to like make a choice and stick with it. But since we did make our choice and we did stick with it, and emotionally we're stable with that choice, in the near future, we can see that the Knight of Wands, the Knight of Rods is coming in. Now, who's this character? I'm reading this as an actual person. This is a fire sign. This is an Aries, Sagittarius, or a Leo. This is someone that has youthful energy. And to me, someone who's youthful is in their 30s. Depends on how old you are when you're watching this video. For some people that are watching this video, maybe they're like, oh, someone in their 30s, that's a boomer. But for me, that's a youngster. But this is someone in their 20s, 30s. They're just establishing themselves as an autonomous figure in this life, in this 3D reality. And the Knight of Wands is somebody who's flirtatious. They come in quickly. They're very much in tune with their dream self and their waking self. They're very much in tune with their passions, their creativity, their fire energy, which gets the fire started, gets the ball rolling. Now it's up to us to maintain that flame and to tend to it, to tend to the hearth, right? But they definitely bring the fire, and it's up to the rest of us to keep that fire lit, because they're quick. They're like a match. Like they'll light it, but they might be in and out, you know. So this is a passion or a creativity or a person that ignites your passion or creativity. This could be somebody that could be a collaborator. This is somebody who is very passionate about what they say, think, or do. And we can expect within the next couple lunation cycles for someone like this to come into our lives. And usually they're quite sexy as well, which, you know, never hurts. Conscious awareness. Page of Wands reversed. Now this is a very similar energy to the Knight of Rods. Okay, but this is somebody that's just a little bit younger and less mature. So this is somebody, especially in the reverse, somebody who's like, perhaps they're being flirtatious, but you're just like, ew, I don't want to have to deal with this. Or this is somebody that's not quite got a handle on their creativity in a positive way. Or this is us, again, dealing with this page energy. I mean, as well as having an obstacle of not being able to express our truth correctly in an immature way. Maybe we are, in our conscious awareness, having problems with being able to express our creativity in a way, or perhaps our creative projects are just in the beginning phases and we're not ready to quite get it out there yet. You know, we don't think that it's ready yet. You know, I can think of a creative project in my life right now where it's just like, ugh, everything I do, I feel like it's all right, but it's just not there yet, you know? And so that could be a situation for a lot of us that we might be working on some things creatively, but we're not ready to quite put it out there yet. And the subconscious awareness that's kind of holding up this whole story, we have Two of Swords reversed. Two of Swords upright is a card of being in a state of suspension. It's a lower form of the Hanged Man card of the Major Arcana, which again I talked about in that playlist, Learn Tarot. I'm going to go through all 78 cards, but I think I've only made it through 14 of them, 15 of them so far. So I have a little ways to go. Maybe in a couple months I'll be done. But the Hanged Man card is a card of like being in a state of suspension. You put yourself there on purpose because, and just like this character, like they put themselves there on purpose. They're blindfolded and they're kind of in a state of meditation, and they're trying to decide, you know, which way they're going to go with it. Like they obviously have to make some sort of move eventually, but they're not quite there yet. In our subconscious energy, Two of Swords reversed means that we have made a decision. We do know which direction we're going. And again, I mean, with the Seven of Cups card, this is an emotional decision where we had to let our emotions guide us and make a choice. And this is the mental choice to take a path and go with it. Pick a sword and do it. You know, communicate. Swords, again, are communication, thoughts. And so Two of Swords in reverse is going to be a card to where, whether we realize it or not, our thoughts are leading to some action, you know, towards our passion. And even if we don't think that our creative project is ready to go, you know, in our conscious mind, our creative project's not ready to go, but in the near future, someone's either coming in or we are going to take charge of our divine masculine creative power and let this project move forward. How we see ourselves in this situation is Six of Pentacles reversed. Pentacles are always cards that deal with earth energy, and how do we give and receive right here on earth. This is not necessarily spiritual energy. This is energy of, you know, I pay a bill, my electric stays on, or I give to a charity when I have extra, and when I'm at lack, somebody, you know, helps me out and buys the next round of PBR or what have you. Six of Pentacles in reverse can be us seeing ourselves in a situation of unfairness. We might be feeling like we're giving more than we're receiving, or we might be feeling like we're taking more than we're giving, depending on which end of the spectrum we're on. I'd say since we're at the top of the wheel, on the Wheel of Fortune, this just might be a card where we could run the risk of feeling like we're giving a little bit too much, and we need to be open to receiving as well. But I also want to throw out there that, you know, when you do have extra to give, I think that especially in these times, you might as well just give it, because there's no guarantee of tomorrow. And with the astrological energies that are going to be coming in now and the next few years into the future is very uncertain. There's a lot of Piscean energy, especially with Saturn in Pisces, and things are about to get a bit messy. So even if you do feel like you're reaching your limit, I would say keep giving. It's okay. The universe will balance it out in the future, and it's all good, you know. I really sincerely hope that anybody tuning into this reading right now isn't at the risk of hunger or anything, but if you are, I hope that you're open to receive as well, you know. But if you have a couple extra ducats in your bucket, you know, no harm in being generous. How other people see us in this situation is the Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords is a card where somebody is mentally holding themselves hostage, and they are blind to their own abilities and capabilities mentally. It is the character's own thoughts which are holding her hostage, whereas at any time, if she would just shimmy a different way, or just sort of kind of back up against that sword, this thought, you know, there's lots of thoughts that could free this person. You know, they're not necessarily trapped by their own thoughts could set them free. And once they free their hands, they can take that blindfold off and actually see clearly. So there could be other people in our lives that see us as someone who, like, you know, you could be really successful. Like, I see you as successful. I see your creative project as genius, but you just don't see it in yourself, kind of thing. Our hopes and fears is the Lovers reversed. The Lovers upright is a card of soulmates. It's a card of choices. It's a card of choosing to pair up with your counterpart. And the Lovers reversed in the hopes and fears position means that you could be afraid of a toxic situation, you know, you could be afraid of making the wrong choice. This is strong Gemini energy. In Gemini, it encompasses the light and the dark, but the Lovers in any reading is always good luck. I think that in the reversal, in the hopes and fears position, like, we might be presented with opportunities for love, but we might be afraid that this opportunity might steer us away from our path and our projects, and turn toxic. So we just need to be open to maintaining our own health, mentally, physically, thoughts wise, and emotionally, so that when the Lovers do come in, when this opportunity does come in, that we're ready to take that soulmate journey. Which leads us to the Temperance card as the likely outcome. So as a likely outcome, we are going to be able to balance our lower desires and our higher desires. We are going to be able to take the angelic path. We are going to be able to, balance hard work, because this path is a long path before we get, to the crevice in the mountains and find enlightenment. And again, Temperance is a card that I talked about in my Learn Tarot playlist, and you can hear me talk about how they have one foot in the water and one foot on earth, balancing the emotional with the physical self, having the angelic blessing. Now, there's some discussion whether this is Archangel Gabriel or Michael, but either way, the blessings come from virtue. The blessings come from being able to exercise self-control and moderation, and to be able to balance oneself. So the likely outcome is that we will find balance on our path. Okay, well, that's the Virgo full moon for you. Thank you for tuning in. Once again, if you are interested in a personal reading, you can hit me up on esperanzavence.com. There's a contact form there. And I will also be on Facebook, but that's kind of a private page. But if you are a friend of mine, find me on Facebook, Esperanza Vence Tarot. And there you will hear more about my local activities. At least once or twice a month I do readings in public, and I am always willing to help you curate your event anywhere in the world, really. I'm open to travel, even though Saturn's entering my 9th, and that will cause me to have to renew my passport and make sure I have all my P's and Q's in order and cross all my T's and dot all my I's. But I am willing to travel, and I am more than willing to do readings via I do the Zoom readings for those of you that are not necessarily local but would still like a personal reading. I have a calendar set up, and you can click on the readings tab on my About page on YouTube and find out more there. So I love you very much. Thank you so much for tuning in and hearing what I have to say about this Virgo full moon. And I wish you luck and blessings for your higher self and for your earthly self and all the details. Peace.